So this is a documentary on Tears of the Sun and how it got started and where we are all today and our hopes for the future.
So I had met Laura when we were both about 16. So this was sophomore year of high school. And when we were getting to know each other, we were talking a lot about our different ideas for the future, different career options that we were looking at. And we both had some similar interests in music, actually. We had a similar taste in music. We both enjoyed a lot of different rock bands, a lot of rock influences. She specifically liked Linkin Park a lot, and I liked Evanescence, Skillet, rock bands, and especially Christian rock bands. We both had that thing in common. And so, because of this, we both had some aspirations of us both pursuing music in that type of a setting. We both were into like some classical symphonic music at the time as well. So, we wanted to incorporate that into the band as well. So we had decided as we were forming our friendship and we were growing as people and as friends, we decided, hey, why don't we just combine our dreams, especially since we have similar interests, similar styles that we want to pursue with music. So then we decided at that point to be able to combine our dreams. We had decided to call it Tears of the Sun. We had thrown around a lot of different ideas for the band name because we wanted it to be very significant. Because with the band, we want everything to be very meaningful and significant. And so the title came out to be Tears of the Sun because Laura had actually been thinking about this name for a long time throughout her childhood. She kept having like this phrase in her head that she wanted to name something Tears of the Sun. She wanted to use it in some kind of a way. And so we had gone with that and made a compromise with my idea for the band title, which was Lunar Birth. And so we said that we would go with Tears of the Sun as the name of the band, which was her idea, and that Lunar Birth would have been one of the names of the albums. So that is how we made a compromise. And another reason why we went with Tears of the Sun is because we wanted to do a Christian rock type of theme of a band. And so, because of this, we took sun as a double meaning, as in the actual sun, and the sun as in the Son of God, in other words, Jesus. And so, we did that as a poetic type of metaphor for our Christian rock band. And so after we had decided on the name, we were both very excited. We both were not afraid to throw out different ideas of what we wanted to do with the band. We thought of different outfits, different things we wanted to do on stage, different types of songs that we wanted to create. And so we were very, very excited and passionate about what we were doing. And so we had gathered the best we could different members to be part of our band, including people who could be in charge of social media, different people who can be our manager, different people who could play different instruments. And so, because of this, the band went through a couple of different phases. So, as I have mentioned before, me and Laura had similar interests, but we also had some qualities about us that were the opposite. For instance, Laura liked to wear a lot of white clothes, and I liked a lot of black clothes at the time, so we kind of joked around that we had a yin yang kind of thing going on. She really liked the imagery of the sun and things having to do with the sun, and I was really much into the moon. I wrote a lot of poetry and lyrics at the time having to do with the moon. Any fashion pieces that had the moon on it, that would be totally my thing. And so we kind of incorporated that into the band as well. And we want to use that in the imagery of the band in the sense that our symbol has both the moon in the front and the sun in the back. And so it forms a thing like an eclipse. So this is kind of representing both with our Jesus type metaphor, but also with her and me, her being the sun and me being the moon, and our different interests. Because, like I said, we have some interests that are shared and some interests that are the opposite. But we wanted the band to kind of celebrate that duality and let that inspire a lot of our lyrics and content and a lot of the imagery that we want to use with the band.
Okay, so as far as the logo goes, I wanted originally for Luna to make it like with her artwork, right? But she couldn't really capture the image I was going for in my mind because it's not like she could read my mind. So I was playing around on stuff with Microsoft Office on Microsoft Word, and I found a temporary thing that I'm okay with for now. But later on, I do want her to like spiffy it up.
So I had actually used this kind of duality in one of my art pieces. I am a visual artist, and because I am a visual artist, I want to incorporate my art into the band's imagery in terms of album covers, logos, different kinds of imagery and clothes, things of that nature. And because of this, I had created a piece for one of our covers that had to do with that duality. In this piece, me and Laura are both having our backs to each other, and we're facing in opposite directions. On my side, it is nighttime. On Laura's side, it is daytime. On my side, there are stars filling the sky, and on her side, there are butterflies fluttering around during the day. And another way that we have a duality is with the silver gold duality. Silver and gold are usually thought of as a pair, kind of like a binary pair. And so I really like silver and Laura really likes gold. And I express that in this art piece by filling the day up with a gold background. I had some metallic paints, and so I used that in this piece. And then I used metallic silver paint to paint the night sky on my side.
So for the imagery of the logo, the whole sun and the moon, and then there's a teardrop on the bottom with the North Star in there. Now the reason for all these things is because not only because I love the sun and she loves the moon, but also because of symbolism within the Bible, because it says in the more toward the Revelations that in the end times the sun and the stars and the moon will show us when the end times are near. So, since the whole point of the band is to give a message from God and like warn people of the end times, I figured that would be the most accurate thing. That and like the whole Son of God and how He cries for us. So therefore, there's the teardrop of the sunlight. For the members of our band that were temporarily around, we were trying to get some work done, right? And well, we got some of Anna's songs down, but then she had to go to back to the university in Austin, and so we were going to work on my things. But then things got a little complicated on Luna's end because of the fact that we were kind of mixing in relationships and work, and that never works out well. So after all that went down and we went off in our separate ways, me and Luna decided to do our own solo work. And so she's doing covers on her own little channel, and I'm working on trying to become a director so that way I can someday incorporate the songs that we want to make into the movies I release as a soundtrack.
I had actually met one of the members of our band. This was actually our bass player over Facebook. And I had been up at college. I went to a college that was outside of our hometown. And so while I was up in college, I had met somebody online. And so I had talked to this person online for a while. We became good friends. And it was through this interaction that we decided he should be able to join the band as our bass player, especially since it was a little bit hard for us to find somebody who could play the bass. And so we decided to take him on into the band. Come summer break, we were able to meet him. When I say that, I mean me and Laura, and who Laura was dating at the time, who we made our drummer. And so we were able to have a couple of band meetings in which all four of us were able to talk and bond together and throw around ideas. We did have a couple of band meetings with us actually going through a couple of different music sounds and tracks with our different instruments and vocal things going on at the same time. So that was very exciting for us. Later on that summer, we had taken on somebody who could be one of to be our guitarist, and so we had a couple of sessions in which we were doing a song in sync with each other. We had written all the instrumental parts to go with my lyrical parts that I had written for a song called Rainbows. And so for this song, it's very much a song about empowerment. It also has a bit of spiritual elements in there as well. And so with this song during that summer, it was us five, me, Laura, the person she was dating at the time who was on drums, the person I was dating at the time, who was our bass player, and our lead guitarist. And so we had a couple of jam sessions in which we were all playing that song at the same time. I was singing my parts, and so that was very exciting for us. But that only lasted for a while as the band broke up in certain ways because I, first of all, had broken up with the bass player. And so he decided to leave the band following that. And then Laura had broken up with her boyfriend, who was also in the band as the drummer. So he had left the band as well, and we decided to let go our guitarist. So because of this, we have split up for several different important reasons. And so we are looking forward now, once Laura has finished college and we are both more able to join our living arrangements, we hope to try to pursue the band again. And for right now, I am actually pursuing a little bit of solo work. I'm trying to work on my YouTube channel. I have a Facebook page going called Luna Ray Stardust. And so I've been uploading me singing different covers on there. I intend to release a couple of original songs that I had written myself in the near future.